Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a night long before cities, before electricity, before walls thick enough to keep the dark away. You are lying on hard ground. The fire has burned low. Somewhere beyond the edge of the light, a branch snaps. Your body goes still before your mind even understands why. Your heart speeds up. Your ears strain. Every muscle is ready to run. That feeling, that sudden electric alertness, is something you still know today. You feel it when your phone buzzes with bad news. You feel it lying awake at 3 a.m. with your thoughts racing. You feel it walking into a room full of strangers. What you call anxiety is not a flaw in your design. It is one of the oldest survival tools your ancestors ever owned. And tonight, we'll follow that tool back to where it was forged and discover why a brain built to keep you alive can sometimes feel like it's working against you. But there's a twist waiting for us. Because the same ancient wiring that fills your nights with worry was also the thing that made human beings the most successful creatures on the planet. Hold on to that. We'll come back to it. Let's go back first. Picture the world your distant ancestors actually lived in, not a museum version, the real thing. There were no hospitals, no locks, no supermarkets stocked with food that would still be there tomorrow. Survival was measured day by day, sometimes hour by hour. The grasslands and forests they crossed were full of things that could kill them. Predators with night vision and silent footsteps. Rival groups who might see them as a threat. Snakes hidden in the grass. Storms with no warning. A small cut could turn deadly. A single bad decision could end everything. And food was never guaranteed. Long stretches of hunger were normal. So when there was a chance to eat, to rest, to be safe, the body learned to grab it and to never fully trust that it would last. Now think about the people around them. In that world, you could not survive alone. A single human, cast out of the group, had almost no chance against the night. The tribe was everything. It was food, warmth, protection, and meaning. To be accepted was to live. To be rejected was very often to die. So your ancestors lived inside two enormous pressures at once: the pressure of physical danger from the outside world, and the pressure of belonging, of staying inside the circle of people who kept them alive. A brain that ignored either of those pressures didn't last long enough to pass on its wiring. Here's what that constant danger did to the human mind. Over countless generations, the brain became extraordinarily good at one thing above all others: detecting threats before they arrived. Think about it. If you assume a rustle in the grass is just the wind, and you're right, you save a little energy. But if you assume it's the wind, and you're wrong, you die. The cost of those two mistakes is not equal. So the brain evolved to lean hard in one direction, to assume danger, to prepare for the worst, to react first and relax later. Researchers often describe this as a kind of negativity bias. Your mind treats possible threats as more urgent, more important, more real than calm and safety. 100 good things can happen in a day, and your brain barely notices. One bad thing happens, and it replays all night. Deep inside your brain sits a small region that acts like a smoke alarm. Its job is to scan for danger and trigger the body's emergency response, the racing heart, the tight chest, the rush of energy. The thing about a smoke alarm is that it isn't built to be accurate. It's built to be loud. It would rather scream at burnt toast 1,000 times than stay silent during one real fire. That alarm doesn't think, it reacts. And it was tuned over millions of years for a world far more dangerous than the one you live in now. The same goes for belonging. Because being cast out of the group meant death, your brain developed a deep, painful sensitivity to rejection. Being ignored, judged, or excluded can hurt almost like a physical wound, because to your ancient wiring, it once was a wound. It was a threat to your survival. So you carry two ancient instincts inside you: a body wired to expect physical danger, and a heart wired to fear being left behind. Now bring all of that into the modern world. This is where it gets strange. Your environment has changed almost beyond recognition, but your brain, that ancient, careful, threat-scanning brain, has barely changed at all. It's running software written for the wilderness inside a life made of screens, deadlines, and crowded streets. Watch how it shows up. It's late at night. You're safe in bed. Nothing is hunting you. And yet your mind starts racing through every worry, every mistake, every possible disaster waiting in the future. Your brain isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it was built to do, scanning the dark for threats, just as it did when a predator might be circling the camp. The difference is, there's no predator now, only your thoughts. Or think about your phone. You check it constantly, pulled back again and again to the news, the messages, the endless feed. That's the same instinct that once kept your ancestors alert to every change in their surroundings. Information used to mean survival. So your brain treats each notification like a rustle in the grass, something you must check, just in case. Think about walking into a room of strangers and feeling that flush of self-consciousness. Your heart picks up. You worry how you look, what they think. Your brain is reacting as if your place in the tribe is on the line, as if being judged could get you exiled, even though these are just co-workers or classmates or people you'll never see again. Think about sending a message and then staring at the screen, waiting, your stomach tight, when there's no reply. That ancient fear of rejection is firing. Your mind treats silence like a threat to your belonging, even though the other person is probably just busy. And think about how hard it can be to simply rest, to sit still and do nothing without a low hum of restlessness. For most of human history, total relaxation was a luxury you couldn't afford. Staying a little on guard kept you alive, so your nervous system still resists letting go, even when you finally have the safety your ancestors dreamed of. In every one of these moments, you're not weak, you're not damaged. You're running a survival program that worked beautifully for a world that no longer exists. So how do you live with a brain like this? Not by fighting it, The alarm is older and stronger than your willpower. The trick is to understand it, so it stops controlling you in secret. Start by naming it when it happens. When the worry rises at night, you can quietly tell yourself, "This is my ancient alarm, scanning for danger that isn't here." That small act of recognition creates a tiny gap between you and the fear, and in that gap, you get to choose your response. Remember that your body reacts faster than your thoughts. That racing heart isn't proof that something is wrong, it's just your system getting ready, the way it readied your ancestors to run. You can let the feeling rise and pass without obeying it.